Hi everybody. I haven't talked about this in the past because this existed before the channel did. But I recently had an issue with it and I had to replace it, so I thought I would talk about it. So when I live in a rental, this house is a rental, and there is landscaping around the house, and as a tenant, I'm responsible for paying for water and electricity and all the utilities that go along with the house. But also we're responsible for maintaining the landscaping that's here. So I mow the grass, I trim the bushes, I do that kind of stuff. And we have to make sure that we're watering the grass when it needs it. But we're also part of an HOA, and HOAs can be kind of a pain in the butt. So if you're, say, watering the grass while it's raining, my HOA will send you a nicely worded letter that says that you're wasting water. And for the first 2 years, I dealt with that. So when we first moved into the house, there was we'll call it a dumb sprinkler controller. It was programmable in that it ran certain zones for certain lengths of time, a certain time of the day, every single day. But it was just like, you program this routine and I'm going to do this routine, and I'm not capable of doing any decision making on my own, which was fine. It worked well. But because we live in California and it only really rains like 3 months out of the year here, and it's only cloudy, say, 30 days out of the year here, we needed to have a summer program that wouldn't allow all of the stuff to die. And then we ended up using that all winter, which ended up wasting a bunch of water during the winter. And we're also going through a drought and some other stuff. And what I found was, when I monkeyed with the programmed sprinkler system and I changed it so that it wasn't watering as often, like I changed it to only do every other day instead of doing every day during the winter time, come spring, I would forget to change it back, and then I'd end up with brown grass, and then I'd be like trying to recover from that for a couple months and overwatering to try to bring things back. So like none of it was a good situation. So I decided that I would buy a smart sprinkler controller, and I looked at a couple different ones, and the one that I decided to go with was from a company called Orbit, and the product is called the bHyve, bHyve, and I'll post a link in the description. So the previous sprinkler controller that I had was an 8-zone. So I purchased an 8-zone originally. And then when I came and I installed it and I tracked down all the wires and I figured out where everything actually went, I realized that I only actually have 4 zones that are wired on that side. It's just my sprinkler controller was an 8-zone. So that 8-zone I installed in 2017, it's 2022. So it's been in place for about 5 years, and recently it died. It stopped responding, wouldn't connect to the Wi-Fi, couldn't get it to reset. It just seems like it died. So I just went and bought a new one, $50. It's not a tremendous expense. And realistically, the amount of water that it saved me in the first 2 months after putting it in paid for it. Now, I live in California, water here is expensive, but I would say in most cases, it's going to help to pay for itself in terms of water usage. So the bHyve comes in a box like this. The one that I just purchased is the 4-zone. So this is the 4-zone. The 8-zone is identically sized. I actually have this sitting over there, so I'll show you. But it's identically sized. It comes in the same box. It comes in the same packaging. There's a power brick in here. It's 24-volt AC power brick. It's just got 2 wires coming off the bottom of it. And the unit, here's the 8-zone, here's the 4-zone. They're obviously the same size. They have the same mounting positions. You can see this one's a little yellowed from being in my garage for a long time. This is what it actually looks like when it's brand new. It's a really good color match to like my sauna cabinets on my walls, actually. Dark gray and light gray. On the inside, this is the 8-zone. So there's power in from this power brick, 24-volt in. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 zones, along with the common, which is the ground output to feed the solenoids. So if you open up the cover on this, it's pretty much everything up to here. It does have a sensor input, so if you wanted to add a rain sensor to it, you could. I just don't see it necessary, and I have a jumper here to make it so that it'll just run. So the way this works, this is a smart controller. So when you unbox it, the first thing that it does is it broadcasts a Bluetooth signal that you can connect to with your phone. And there's an app called bHyve, bHyve, it's that one right there. And when you open it up, it has this picture, and then this is the 4-zone unit. You can see here's my old 8-zone unit, which is still showing as disconnected because I haven't removed it yet. But you can set your zones. So I've got, you know, my front grass, my front house shrubs, my bushes at the street, and my fence line. Those are my 4 things that I have there. My 4 zone is the same way, but I only have obviously 4 zones here. The other one can have up to 8, but like I said, I was only using 4 anyway, which is why I just replaced it with a 4. So this is actually really cool. What it does is you tell it what type of soil you have and what type of grass you have and what your address is. And then it looks at the weather in your area and it determines how often it needs to water. So you'll see today it's showing that it's cloudy. Saturday, October 1st, it's cloudy with 99% humidity, 3-mile-per-hour wind, 70 degrees, the low is 53. So it's going to run, it's not going to run at all for the front grass, but it is going to do the shrubs for 28 minutes. It's going to run twice, and it's going to do the back bushes, and like it calculates all of this based on the perceived moisture level in the ground, as well as the you know, the amount of sprinkler heads, and like it just asks you a couple questions that are really easy to answer. How many sprinkler heads do you have? Well, I have 6. Okay, what type of sprinkler heads? And it shows like 3 different pictures. It's this type. And then, you know, what type of soil do you have? And it shows 6 different pictures. It's this type. And, you know, it's really easy to program. And then you can actually adjust if you want to. So it'll make this automatic program. Smart watering will begin. So the next time it's going to water is actually Wednesday, and it's Saturday right now, just because it's cloudy for the next couple of days according to the forecast. Cloudy, 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 cloudy. So it's going to start watering on Wednesday, and the you know, the zones are right here, and I can actually adjust the zones as I see fit. So I can go to this front grass and I could say, hey, I want you to water this a little bit more often, or I want you to water this a little extra, or, you know, we're in a drought right now. Like, I have the option to do these like advanced calibration things, but I don't have to do any of that. So because of that, it just kind of does its thing. And what I found when I installed this is it started saving me like $20 to $30 a month on water usage, and none of my stuff died. Did a really good job. So I've been pretty happy with it. Now, like I said, I installed the 8-zone model in 2018. It lasted for 4 years and then it failed. I reached out to Orbit to ask if, you know, there's anything that I could do to try to reset it or anything like that. And they said that I had tried everything that I could. So you can press this button 5 times and it's supposed to factory reset it, but it wasn't responding. So I just decided to buy a new one. I bought this one off of Amazon. The 4-zone unit was like $44 in shipping, or $44 plus tax. So it ended up being like $49 or $50 or something along those lines shipped to my door. But I've been so happy with the unit that I don't even, I got my life out of it. I don't really care about the warranty or anything like that. It came, it worked, did its thing, been happy with it, and it died, so I purchased a new one. So if you're looking for a smart sprinkler controller, I know there are other ones out there that, you know, like if you watch, what's the one, Lawn Care Nuts, or any of the Facebook groups that are more lawn oriented, they get into kind of crazier high-end things. For me, I was just looking for something simple, keep it simple, because I don't know plants and grass and all of that stuff. I like mowing it, but I don't know how much water it needs, or what, you know, whether this is Bermuda grass or some, like, you know what I mean? It's not something I'm passionate about. I wanted something that was simple. So I bought this unit. It's simple, it's smart, does its thing, easy to install. Couple wires, plug in, and it's good to go. And the one that I had has been problem-free up until this point, and I'm sure this one will be problem-free for another 4 years, and then, you know, maybe I'll end up replacing it again. But 4 years later, they still make the same unit. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.